In this video I want to tell you about my crow friends Kreri and Crew and what I was able to experience with them this year. Kreri and Crew are part of the crow community in my neighborhood. At the beginning of the year, the family consisted of 3 birds, Kreri, Crew and last year's fledgling Kami. Kreri and Crew have been visiting me for several years now every day and have become part of my own family. Kami has grown into a healthy, bright youngster. He follows Kreri at every step. Apart from the regular rebukes regarding the family hierarchy, family cohesion is still harmonious in January and February. The crows are relaxed and doing their usual crow stuff. The atmosphere changed completely with the beginning of the nesting season in March. Kreri and Crew started building their nest, but Kami interfered. Several times Kreri accidentally fed Kami instead of Crew because Kami was there and begged. Kreri got upset and Crew left the nest several times to chase Kami around the neighborhood. But Kami didn't want to leave, although he was already displaying behavior of adult crows. To make matters worse, a strange crow appeared in the territory. It seemed to be somehow connected with Kami. Crew and Kreri looked really stressed out, and after a while it seemed like Kreri wasn't able to defend his territory anymore without Crew's help. The strange crow just wouldn't leave, and Kami wouldn't leave. Kami also tried to chase the strange crow away, but it didn't help. Crew then abandoned her nest and, together with Kreri, chased Kami out of the territory. And like that, Kami was gone. I still miss him. With Kami gone and starting an independent life with other young crows, it got really quiet. The strange crow was gone, and Kreri and Crew started to build a new nest. The new nest was in another tree. It was a tree they had used the year before. And now that there were no distractions, Kreri fed Crew everything he could find. He worked really hard. He constantly demanded food from me, even with a full beak. In the beginning of May, Crew left the nest several times a day and helped Kreri in a search for food. Here you can see him preparing the food for the nestlings with water. He looks really busy. Here he is preparing little pieces with water for the nestlings. But there's always time for a little sun bath. And of course he has to eat too. And back to searching for food and feeding the babies. During May, both birds were really busy. Constantly flying back and forth with food. Clary looked so exhausted at times that I started to worry about him. Of course, I had no idea what was coming. Crows are very secretive about their nests. Clary, for example, will never fly directly to his nest. He will always stop to make sure that no one is watching him. The nest itself is high up in the tree and very well hidden. It took me several weeks to find it. And then, on June 14th, the first little fledgling was sitting in a tree in the morning. Then there were two. Then three. And then four. And then I finally understood why Clary and crew worked so hard and why Clary was so exhausted all the time. This is actually a really big success for Clary and crew. It happened in all the 6 years that I know them, only one time before. June was really hot. The young crows spent almost all day sitting near the water bowl and in the trees around the house waiting for food. The stress of 4 constantly begging fledglings became really visible. The adults started to lash out to the young birds. And they kept begging even though they were already capable of feeding themselves. Normally I would give out only 2 times a day food to the birds, but in this situation I put out a food suspender and a bowl with food for the young birds to feed. Things calmed down again and I saw some really beautiful family scenes. Like this one with Creri sunbathing. You can see the little ones are very curious about what he is doing and then they imitate him. Then the little ones started talking to me. Was heißt das? Schwimmst du mit mir? Meckerst du? Meckerst du mit mir? Hallo? Hallo? It was just the cutest thing ever. At the end of August begins the molt. This is the time when the crows shed their old feathers and get winter plumage. During this time they look very ruffled and funny. seems to be itching a lot.
Welcome home. I haven't seen you for so long. Now that you're trapped inside my soul, you cannot go. Give it a sign that you're alive still. Isn't it love, giving it right to kill?
I think they look especially cute during this time of year. All 4 youngsters have grown up to be strong and healthy. Ready and able to fight for their place in Crow society. They practice every day. There is a strict food hierarchy, and every bird has to fight to find its own place in this hierarchy. Until now, Kreri remains the undisputed dominant bird in his territory. In late autumn and winter, large flocks of both resident and migratory crows roost together at night. Kreri crew and their offspring take part in this, but they still are daily visitors on my terrace. There are daily scuffles inside the family. 3 young birds remain within the family unit. The 4th one is living nearby, but mostly chased away. This was my year with the crows. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it.